Geno, it seems kind of strange from us watching you get outscored by 13 in the second quarter and won by 30, especially since the second quarter it didn't look like you had a whole lot of energy. So where did the energy and life come from, and how did you see it?
Well, you know, in the first quarter, you know, the ball's moving pretty well. We're cutting pretty well. You know, our defense is pretty good. And, you know, maybe in the second quarter it just caught up to us, you know. Like I've said this before, it's a tiring stretch that we're in. It's been pretty grueling. And maybe it just caught up to us a little bit. And we needed to get our second wind at halftime, you know. That's the best way I can describe it. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other reasons, but I don't want to get into all that. But I think that's about as good a reason as I can come up with. Hey, you know, what can I say? It's the best I can do for you.
Olivia looked pretty strong even to start, just more aggressive going up. She finished 6 for 6, and despite the foul trouble, still looked like put together a good performance.
Yeah, we try to make more of a concerted effort to get her deeper into the lane, you know, and she worked a little bit harder at getting her work done before the ball comes in, you know. So all she had to do was catch it. And then we threw a couple really good passes into her. You know, Liv just has to stay away from those dumb fouls, you know, that get her on the bench. You know, it's way better for us if she's in the game than if she's not in the game. So, you know, it was really encouraging for her to play the way she played. You know, she got a lot done, and again, you know, you keep looking for these signs that there's progress being made, and tonight was another one.
You mentioned that grueling stretch, and with the week you guys have had, how do you think the team is doing, and just in general, just state of kind of mental tiredness?
Yeah, you get tired. I mean, when you look at the number of games in a short period of time, you know, it just catches up to you, you know, and you know, sometimes you just don't have it in you. Sometimes you just have to grind it out. You know, sometimes you know, you have to fight through things. You know, it's not always going to look great. It's not always going to look pretty. You know, and you go out and you know, you do what you can and you do what you got to do. Crystal made some big shots. Obviously, she got her on a roll, and I didn't even see the final stat sheet, but
24.
yeah, she played a good game just overall. You know, you know, forget the shooting the ball well, but you need your seniors to do that. You know, you're a senior point guard. You know, you kind of gravitate towards those moments where we really need you to make shots, and she really stepped up tonight and made them. And I think it gave everybody like a chance to take a deep breath, and gave everybody a little bit of sigh of relief there when the ball started going in, because we sure missed a lot of, you know, there's a reason why we go into these lulls. You know, we just don't have a lot of great shot makers, you know.
Megan got in the lane a lot, was playing physical, got those rebounds, and then took a couple shots to the face. How is she comfortable, and how did you like her play, her physical play today?
You know, Meg's come a long way. The freshman year, I don't know that would have been something that she was capable of doing. But she got poked in the same eye twice, and it's pretty swollen. And I had no intention of putting her back in. And she came over and sat on the bench, and I looked at her and I said, "What's up?" And she shook her head, "Yeah, I'm good." I said, "You sure?" And she said, "Yeah." And I looked at her eye, and I thought she was going to say, "Cut me, Mickey." You know, I didn't know what she was going to say. So, I'm too young to know that. And she wanted to go in, you know. She made a 3, got some rebounds. Meg's, she's becoming that reliable player that we need, that every team has to have. She's going to make big shots, she's going to rebound, she's going to play hard and play good defense and, get her double-double. And, that's pretty good comfort level to have.
Anything else?
What about Oregon and kind of, obviously, some time before that, but do you feel like the USA experience kind of prepared you guys for that in a sense, or?
I think it's game to game, I don't think that there's any way to connect the dots anymore. The second quarter we outscored the national team 20-10. Tonight we lost 20-something to 9. So you can't really go by this happened and now you're ready for that. I think the world that I live in anymore, it's day to day. You watch one game and you go, wow, we were really good that game. And then you cross your fingers and hope you're just as good the next game. And you do that 35 times and you take a big sigh of relief because the season's over.
Alexa first, sorry.
Geno, Jasmine hasn't been on the bench for 3 weeks. Is there anything, you can tell us, maybe it's a personal thing you can't or don't want to address, but can you say anything?
Well, we will when the right time comes. But yeah, she's on a personal leave right now.
We saw Batuli warming up.
Yeah.
Is there any update you can give on her?
Janelle, our athletic trainer, said, hey, I'm going to let Tuli warm up tomorrow with the team. That's a step. It's not a ringing endorsement like, hey, she's ready to go. So we'll see how that goes. We've got the day off tomorrow and we got a couple practices and we'll play it by ear, little by little, one day at a time. But at least she's doing more things today than she did, 5 days ago.
Did you talk to her? Did see how she felt after warming up? I know it's the time frame of that is probably short, but
yeah, I mean, she practiced yesterday for about 20 minutes, so I'm sure she felt exactly like she did yesterday after 20 minutes.
Is this team where you thought it might be at this point of the season, further along, not as far, obviously coming up to one of the biggest games of the season?
Well, the one thing I'm sure of is they're probably in the locker room right now. So they are where I think they should be. In terms of are we, going into the season, I really had, I had no expectations. I went in the whole preseason thinking, I wonder how good we can be. I wonder where we can go. I wonder who's going to step up. I wonder how our defense is going to be. There was no, unlike the previous 5 or 6 years, whatever, where we knew exactly what we had. We knew what the experience level was and all that. This year I had none. I had no expectations. And in some ways, we've exceeded our expectations. And at the same time, I don't think we're as good as we could be. So, where are we? We're probably like a lot of other teams around the country, I bet you if you asked a bunch of the teams that started the season undefeated in the top 3 or 4 in the country, 5, and you ask them the same question, they would go, I don't know, hard to say. Hard to say. We're better than we were in November. We're better than we were in the Cal Vanderbilt game.
We always talk about February 1st as sort of the start of the stretch drive. And not only Oregon, South Carolina, but really the better teams in the league. You're going to see South Florida twice, a couple times, and Tulane and whatever. Mm-hmm. Is there anything in particular, will you ratchet things up a bit, or how will you approach February? Because the thing, you mentioned you've been better since November till now, but certainly the thing about this program, pretty consistently is that you do play your best ball at the end.
That's the plan, but I can't say for sure that that's what's going to happen. But I have found that with sometimes with a younger team, an inexperienced team, a team that hasn't necessarily been there and done that as a group. Sometimes if the expectation levels are too high and I ratchet it up too high, it ends up working against you. So we'll have to see. I told them before the national team game, I said, look, nobody expects you to win this game. I said, including me. I said, so, let's make sure we play the way, we make ourselves proud. And then we're up in the fourth quarter and then, 5 minutes left, whatever it was, and then we got back to practice and I was really pissed we didn't win. But I think sometimes, players, especially younger players, they play a lot freer and they play a lot more relaxed if it isn't there. And I think that's the case with most teams today. I think everybody just wants to be happy. Everybody wants to be happy. That's my goal, make everybody happy.